do. I got my first cat when I was running for office, and a very kind lady in Miami Beach, her family said, "We will donate to your campaign if you take a cat."
A rescue.
Yes. And I said, bring that cat over right now. And you know what? Having Peppa, who my daughter has now taken, and Simbi, my wonderful 9-month-old cat, and my house has changed my life. It has brought my family closer together. And I wanted to give back to the community and educate the community about the Cat Network, which is a wonderful 501c3 that operates here in Miami-Dade County. And I have with me here Lori Bruner, who runs the famous Meow Mobile, and which does so much good in the community. So thank you for coming in to be here today. So it's interesting because as we were waiting outside, your son used to play football with the Millers children too. And so you live down here in the South End. Where do you live?
Yeah, I live in Kendall.
In Kendall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and for those of you who have not heard of the Cat Network has been around for a while, right?
Thank you. Yes, it's been around. It's been around since, I want to say 16 years. The Cat Network was started by a group of cat lovers, and
now it's grown.
And now it's grown into something. I don't think they were prepared for it to grow that big, but
I'm trying to watch party this too.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to see about this Cat Network. So it's grown. I was pulling some statistics today. Miami-Dade County has more than 300,000 homeless cats or community cats, correct?
Probably community cats. Yeah.
Community cats. That does not count your cat. If we had to, it's probably in the millions if we counted all the others. It doesn't actually seem like that many, 300,000 community cats. You think it's more than that?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
That's the community cats.
Students in Miami-Dade.
Yeah,
true.
That's the number of cats they've seen.
Well, each cat has between 8 and 10 kittens. Community cats are defined as unowned cats whose home is within a community rather than in an individual household. And a community cat can be a friendly cat that is well socialized. It could be fearful or shy, or a feral cat. And I'm sure many of you have cats in your neighborhoods if you live in single family homes. And even if you live in downtown Miami, I'm sure there are, cats that are in our urban areas too. And I wanted to start off today with some cat trivia, which I looked up, and I had a lot of fun with this. So, okay, Lori.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Question 1. What is the proper term for a group of kittens? And I will give you the answers. Is it Kindle, caboodle, kind, or kettle?
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
She stumped me.
I did?
Hold on. I think it's kind.
It is actually called a Kindle. I did not know this either. I learned. Okay. The proper term for a group of kittens is a Kindle, a litter, or an intrigue.
Okay, a litter, I was going to say, but that's...
I would have said a litter, yeah.
Okay.
Well, but it wasn't even an option. All cats are born with what color eyes? Blue, green, black, or pink?
Blue.
Yes. All cats are born with blue eyes. Their adult eye color will begin to appear in 3 to 12 weeks. And as a result, eye color is not recorded. Yeah. But it's interesting. If you are a white cat and your eyes stay blue, then it means that the cat is deaf.
Not 100% of the time, but there's a good chance that it's one ear, maybe 2 ears.
I learned a lot about pussycats today. Okay. What percentage of a cat's bones are in its tail? 10%, 2%, 20%, or there are no bones in a cat's tail?
Oh, good question. No, it's probably 10%.
There, bing, 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 bing. Yes, 10% of a cat's bones are in its tail. These bones are called caudal vertebrae. A cat's tail is made up of these vertebrae, ligaments, tendon, and voluntary muscle. Okay, question number 4. What is it called? This is a hard one. I had no idea. What is it called when a cat kneads the ground? Is it called kneading, sneagling, rubbing, or snurgling?
It's called driving me crazy. When they do it on your chest and they do it in your face.
Yes. I love that when they come up and they kind of knead the dough.
I'm pretty sure it's called kneading.
That's what I thought too. It is actually called snurgling. So when your cat comes up to you and starts to need you, it is a snurgle. They are snurgling you.
I learn a new thing every day.
Yes.
Snurgle.
And this is not to stump you. I just thought that this would be kind of fun. Okay. How many different sounds can a cat make? 150, 27, 100, or 10?
Jeepers.
I know. I just thought like meow, but my cat kind of goes like this. Wow, wow.
I wonder who actually did the statistics on that, but I would say probably 10.
10? That's what I would have guessed. It is 100. Your cat can make 100 different noises.
Wow.
I know they watch out for me because I can hiss.
Forget about that, yeah.
Okay. How many breeds of domestic cat are there worldwide? 70, 280, 210, or 140?
There's a lot. I don't even know. Like 210.
210. That's okay. Ready for this? And listen, just because you are running the Meowmobile does not mean that you need to know these inane, statistics that I'm throwing at you.
In vet school, don't know that.
What?
It's not even in vet school.
It's not even. Well, these are because it's trivia. It's just cat trivia, feline trivia. 73. So there's 70 types of domestic cat breeds. But by the way, depending on who you're speaking to, it's controversial because the International Progressive Cat Breeders Alliance, they recognize 73 brands, but the Cat Fanciers Federation recognizes 32. Okay. You're definitely not going to know the answer to this. What year was the first major cat show held in the United States? 1972, 1895, 1842, or 1921?
Well, I would say early.
Right?
Early, like probably 1800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are right. The first major cat show in the United States was held May 1895 at Madison Square Garden in New York City. It featured 176 cats, including 2 ocelots, 2 wildcats, and 3 civets. Wow. A brown tabby female Maine cat named Coast.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah, you did.
I did. I did. Okay, I'm finishing up here. There's only a few more. What is the normal body temperature of a cat? 102 degrees, 98 degrees, 106, or 92?
102.
102. So if your cat's body temperature is over 104 or below 99, you need to see your vet or the Meowmobile. All right.
Your vet.
Which U.S. city had a cat for mayor for almost 20 years? Jacksonboro, Texas, Talkeetna, Alaska, Warm River, Idaho, or Gardner, Kansas?
I heard this once before, but I don't remember what it was.
Talkeetna, Alaska. Stubbs the cat became mayor of Talkeetna in July 1997, and as of 2016, Stubbs was still mayor. But his position is honorary since the town is only a historical. So Mayor Stubbs.
What's the population?
I don't know. That I don't know. But there was a cat who was mayor of Talkeetna, Alaska.
Yeah, I remember hearing that story.
Okay, now I have 2 more, but these are really interesting. Which country has more cats per person than any other country in the world? The United States, Denmark, New Zealand, or Djibouti? Isn't that interesting that they threw in Djibouti?
Maybe that's the answer, but I would say...
I was going to guess Djibouti.
I would say United States.
That's what I thought too, but it is actually New Zealand where there are 2 cats per person.
Huh.
Yes.
That's why they
1.87 cats. Yes.
That's why they don't have snakes.
Because we would have obviously we don't have, so we have we don't have 700 million cats.
They don't have an overpopulation.
They don't?
No.
Oh.
No.
We have to, I guess, per person. Cats per person. We probably have way more cats here, but it's just per person. Okay. Final question. How many cats did Abraham Lincoln have in the White House? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
2.
Abraham Lincoln had 4 cats in the White House. See, you've got all this knowledge now, right? And he once observed that his cat Dixie was smarter than his whole cabinet. Now you can feel comfortable when there's a cat person as president. I don't think Joe Biden has any cats. And I know for sure that Donald Trump doesn't have any cats, although he likes to grab them by the pussy. Okay, just kidding. That was a bad joke. I don't know. Okay. How many cats do you have, Lori?
I have 2.
You have 2?
I have 2 cats.
How old are your cats?
My cats are old, so they're both rescues. One just showed up at my house one day, and the other one showed up at I had my kids at I think we were at one little restaurant in Cutler Bay, and we were eating, and this cat was in the tree next to the window, and he was jumping in the tree, playing with himself, all by himself, no mom, no nothing there. And it was probably, I think it was about maybe 8 weeks old, and he was just jumping up and down the tree, and then someone would throw him a French fry and he'd eat it, and I was like, oh. So I made my kids crawl in the bushes and get the cat.
How do you, I mean, like, how do you trap a cat like that and be safe about it? You know, if you see a cat out there in the street, and you want to trap it, what do you do?
If it doesn't come to you, then you don't try to get it.
Trap a cat.
They have special traps. They have and they have people who will help you trap them, and they know how to use the trap. They know how to handle the cat afterwards, and they know, where to take them. So the trap is tricky because those are feral cats, and they will nail you.
I have run for political office several times, one time in a very large congressional district, and I spent every single day walking the streets, and I would fall in love with these cats that I would sometimes see out there, and sometimes they would have eye infections or they would be ill, and I would feel so bad about these cats. And what do you do when you see a stray cat like that and you don't necessarily want to take it home? Would you call the Cat Network? Would you call Animal Services? Like, what's the protocol?
Yeah, sometimes I think if you reach out to one of these groups, the Cat Network, for instance, is kind of, if you reach out to them, and they have a network full of people who are in different areas, and they're watching all this social media, and they love to help. And so when you put it out there, hey, I'm in this area and I see this cat, usually 10 people will chime in and say, give me the address, I'll go help, I'll go trap, I'll go. I mean, the people, they're very passionate about the cats. And
if you call the Cat Network, and the number is 305-255-3482, they will help you help that cat.
They'll help you get the word out that you need help in that area. The best thing to do is go on the website and email, because that phone number, so everyone's a volunteer that works for the Cat Network that's on the board. And everyone that answers the phone calls, everyone answers it's really an answering machine, because there's no one that can pick up the phone all the time.
And I realized that because recently I had to have my cat fixed. I did not want to have him fixed. I felt like I was taking away his manhood. It was a whole thing. It took me weeks. I waited until like the final day of his 8th month. But when I called my vet in Miami Beach, it was going to cost about $300. And then I thought of the Cat Network, and I looked you guys up. And during COVID, because you have this Meowmobile, which is normally roving around, but right now you are operating in Kendall, correct?
Right. Yeah, we're operating in Kendall, and we're calling it Save a Stray in a COVID safe way. We just made that up one day, and so
Save a Stray in a COVID safe way. So if you have a cat, or you have a baby kitten, or your cat is ill, or your cat needs to see a vet, you have to drop your cats off on a Saturday morning, correct?
So what they do is you have to make an appointment. So you email the Meowmobile at thecatnetwork.org, at not the Meowmobile, but Meowmobile at thecatnetwork.org. And then we have this great volunteer, Debbie. She answers the emails in the order they come, and she'll give you an appointment in the order it comes. She's the only one that does it and sets the schedule. So she's ridiculously amazing. I mean, she gets hundreds of emails every week that she's answering. And so she can put in between 40 and 45 appointments every Saturday, and every Sunday, 40 and 45 between there. So what we try to do is just stick to the appointments that are for spay neuter, so that we can get the surgeries done, because no one else is doing them. We're the only,
you guys are the only
we're
people.
the only ones that are doing it now. Since May, we started in May, and no one else was able to do it. Animal Services wasn't open, and they weren't allowed to go in and do it because they were being safe. The clinics were overwhelmed. Like the regular private animal clinics are overwhelmed with appointments of people that are staying home, and they're sitting there, and Fifi's down on the floor, and Fifi coughs, and they immediately go in and they say, we have to see the vet. So now they're doing curbside, so it's taking a long time for each appointment rather than 15 minutes for each appointment. So to get into a regular vet for a sick animal is hard. To get into a regular vet to spay and neuter is even harder because they're doing a lot of intense stuff now.
It was very hard. My cat got sick at the beginning of COVID, and my daughters are much more alarmist than I will. I would probably normally wait it out, like a 24 hours, kind of like I did with my kids. I wasn't one of those parents who like rushed to the doctor right away. But my daughters insisted, and we had to wait outside one time with our cat because you couldn't go into the vet for 2 hours. And that was very frustrating. But I did use the Meow Mobile service. It was out of a warehouse in Kendall because that's where you're operating during COVID. And I went there Saturday morning. I think you had to get there between 7:30 and 8 a.m., something like that. And it was lovely because everybody had their kittens, and all the children were interacting with these cats, and all the cats were meowing.
Yeah, they all talk.
It's really cute. They were all kind of talking to each other. So it was this long line of kittens, and we dropped our cat off at 8:30, and we picked him up. He was ready about 4 p.m. And I was just so happy to have him back. And you guys did such a wonderful job. I think you give like a little dot tattoo, right? He got a little
we do a tattoo. So on the pets, on all the cats we do a tattoo. On the feral cats that they're going to get released back out, they get an ear tip on the left ear. So they there's a picture of it there. It's tipped so that like if you go back and you feed a colony of cats, say Miami Beach, there's people that go along and they feed these different colonies of cats, and if they see one that doesn't have an ear tip, they know we got to get that cat, or we're gonna have 60 more cats in the next 2 years. Wow. So it'll just keep going, and then we'll never get it under control. So we tip the ear of the TNRs.
So if you see a cat with a nipped ear, you know that cat has been neutered.
Has been vetted. Most of the time, what we do is vaccinate them and sterilize them, tip the ear, and give them a tattoo also, and then they're released back out.
Because a lot of these cats are getting cat AIDS, right? Yeah. And cat cancer too. What are the two most prominent? Yeah. What are you seeing the most?
We're seeing a little bit more melanomas on the cats, and it starts with
they're getting skin cancer.
Yeah, it's not really skin cancer, and it's not per se from the sun. It's just a melanoma that develops in the cat, and it can grow on the face, it can grow on the nose, it can grow several different places. And then the what was the other one you mentioned?
AIDS.
The feline AIDS. So feline AIDS is transmitted by cats fighting and saliva and blood. So when they fight, one cat has it, and
are they getting vaccinated for the AIDS though? Can you vaccinate or what?
No, there's no vaccine for the AIDS. There's vaccine for leukemia. The leukemia is also transmitted from cat to cat, but the leukemia has a vaccine, but it's a very highly and
that's why you really don't want to let your cat out. A lot of people, because cats will, especially kittens, will try to escape or want to go outside, and if they do, they expose themselves all of a sudden to getting these diseases that they would get in the street. So they run away, and they don't necessarily know how to come back.
Your cat will definitely live a lot longer if it's a house cat.
You don't feel like it's mean to not let them go? I mean, I've taken away I took out his testicles. He can't go outside. Oh, it's like a husband?
No.
Just kidding.
Exactly. It's like a bad marriage.
Yeah. Well,
it's not. No, so it's not cruel. If you neuter the cat, they don't have the desire to run away and go find a partner. And
because if you don't, I read all about it. If I didn't neuter him, and it was a very sad day, my whole household was upset that we were cutting off Simbi's, what, and if you don't, they mark the territory, so they begin to urinate.
You'll be a miserable cat owner if you do not spay and neuter your cat. The females go into heat, and they will keep you up all night with just noise and
really.
They make you crazy, meowing, and their tail goes up, and they're flagging everything. And
do you have people that refuse to do it as kittens, and then they come back in and say, when they've got their male cats spraying all over the place, do they come, or the female, do they come back in and say, hey, and we made a mistake?
About the time they say, hey, no, we need to know. We can do it at any time. So when that happens, they'll bring it, and then they'll say, yeah, I think it's time to neuter him. He's starting to mark, and we don't ask questions. It's just like, let's do it. Sometimes the doctors want them to wait a little bit longer so that everything develops a little bit more. so that their ureters are bigger and
Yeah, you have to wait until the cat's what, 4 months?
Size. You don't have to. We do it at 2 pounds.
Okay.
2 pounds or 2 months. And a lot of these are fosters. So the fosters, so for example, someone will call and they say they found a litter of kittens, the mother's gone. So these fosters are beautiful people. They'll go and pick them up and they'll bottle feed them until they're old enough. They're 2 pounds. They bring them to us. This is the dog, exclamation point, is a rescue group in Homestead. And it's Barbara Stobbins. Do you know Barbara?
I do not.
But
thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, and I have to remember the other people's names. I know there's Nora, and but this is the dog is run by I believe she's a commissioner's wife.
Oh, so this is a dog as an organization for cats?
Organization.
That's cute.
It's an organization for dogs and cats. But this
they
past
foster.
Year, they were inundated with kittens. And what they do is as soon as they're 2 pounds, they bring them to us. And we spay and neuter them, vaccinate them for whatever they need. We test them for the leukemia and the AIDS. And then they're all adopted already. And they transport them to wherever they're supposed to go to get to the homes. And most of them are in New Hampshire.
Really?
Most of them are in New Hampshire because New Hampshire evidently doesn't have a kitten season because of the snow and the cold.
So wait, the cats go to New Hampshire? That's what, somebody was telling me that if I didn't adopt this one cat, it was going to be separated from its children and it was slated to go to DC. And I said, and I love Marina and Karen, who are the cat fosterers in Miami Beach, who have provided me with both of my cats. I said, I love you guys, but I can't take any more cats. Yeah. I'd love to take as many as possible, but it's work. It's like I feel like I have another child. Yeah, I actually referred to my kitten today, who's 9 months old, and my son. I said, well, your brother. And I didn't even.
Cute. You know what I tell people? If you don't like cats, you've never had one. Because they're hilarious.
They're so funny.
They give you that, they just make you laugh when they do stupid stuff.
Oh my gosh.
They just make you laugh. And then you're like, why didn't I have another cat this whole time?
And they're not overbearing. I mean, they're kind of doing their own thing. And when they want to get your attention, they will. Yeah. But, just funny stuff. Like we bought this Christmas tree and I didn't put ornaments on it this year because it's like his tree.
Yeah.
He climbed right to the top of the tree.
Oh, wow.
And awesome. I know. So he took over my Christmas tree this year too. And I just put some bows up so that he can
yeah, that's a good idea.
So we can hang out.
We wrote a bunch of blogs, how to keep your cat safe around the tree and how to keep it safe with the ribbon is a big thing. So the ribbon, my background is veterinary medicine. So
okay.
I worked in veterinary medicine for the last 30 years. So
they do like to eat the ribbons on the packages. That will really make them sick, won't it?
Well, it won't make them sick. It'll just obstruct them and then you have to go to have surgery. So I guess that is sick. But you don't.
How can you tell? Because he's been hanging out under the tree with those packages. Franny and Paula, if you see this, take the
get the ribbons off.
Take the ribbons off. They really will eat it, right? Because
the ribbons that are on the balloons, especially, are somehow appetizing. And we've actually had to pull them out the other end, and you can't do it yourself. If it's
and it gets in their intestine
and it's stuck on something in the intestines. This is gross. Sorry, people. But if it's stuck on the intestines and you pull it out, it can pull everything out. So you don't want to do that. So just avoid the ribbon if you have kittens.
How can you tell if they're really sick, if they've eaten ribbon? What? You can tell that I'm getting very nervous. Geez. Oh, look, that's exactly what my cat looks like too.
Beautiful.
How can you tell if because I think my cat has had some of that ribbon. I've got to take the ribbon off immediately when I get home.
Off. If it's little pieces that they've eaten, they'll pass it. But if it's a long piece of ribbon, they're going to get lethargic and they're going to not want to eat. They'll vomit. They won't be able to poop or,
Yeah.
If you want to get real descriptive, diarrhea will be.
Really?
Because everything has to go around.
It has to come out the other end.
They'll stop eating and
really
probably get a fever and.
Okay, I'm going to take the ribbons off now. Yeah. Now when I get home. Okay, let's go back to the Meow-mobile. One of the interesting things. I remember the city of Miami Beach had partnered with the Meow Mobile at one point, and we had Project Snip, and that was Commissioner John Alleman and actually myself, and we got the funding,
Right.
and there was a grant, and municipalities can work with the Cat Network. And how did that partnership between the city of Miami Beach and the Cat Network work? Because if maybe there's someone from a different municipality who would like to also partner with the Meow Mobile.
Yeah. So in Miami Beach, they have a group of trappers. I think it's called Caddy. They feed them, they trap them, and they would bring them to us into a facility that they had on a site that the city owned. And then there was a donated trailer, and these two ladies that were amazing were Mary and Sueli. And the rest of the group that you probably know, all the girls that came over that were trapping it.
Yeah, there's
from
a huge
4 o'clock in the morning. They would go trap, and they would bring them all to the unit, and then we would drive the mobile unit over there, and we'd stay in the parking lot where with the what are they called? The lifeguards. I don't know what they're called. Something
over there. It was in North Beach. Well, Mary just got a building. And hopefully Mary will work with the Cat Network again in conjunction. Yes,
I miss Mary.
Mary is so dedicated to the cats of Miami Beach that, she actually got us to get cat feeders that looked like the environment. And she said, and she said that you couldn't believe how mean people are to these cats. Sometimes they're abusive. People get very angry because the cats urinate, and then there's a smell around.
A lot of times,
so
some of the people that were complaining were kind of not
mentally
exactly. They weren't it was kind of whoever it was, but
some people are
understand, and they really aren't harming anything. And if we spay and neuter them, then they don't have that desire to hunt, to kill the birds. And if we keep them fed, they're not detrimental to the environment. So it's kind of like you have to do something. And what they were doing was amazing. So I think, what did I say we did? How
many cats are you guys servicing right now per year in the Cat Network?
Just in Miami Beach, in the 5 years, we sterilized 3,000 cats.
3,000 cats. So we have a ton of cats on Miami Beach, especially along the ocean.
Yeah. And they're still going. The funds ran out, so we couldn't get over there to do it. Because it costs to keep up the unit. So we started getting grants. We have grants now that are from the Humane Society of the United States. We have the Alexander Foundation. We have some of the sometimes Animal Services has some funds too.
So you work with Animal Services from time to time too.
This is the dog had gotten an endowment, and they gave the entire amount to the Miami Meow Mobile to the Cat Network strictly for spay neuters, and we were able to do it was a nice chunk, and I think we got up to date. I think we had 210 cats that we could sterilize, because it cost us about $62.
It costs $62, and their cost is $62, and you literally charge your cost. Don't you?
So right now we're charging $20. If you're a member of the Cat Network, then it's $10. It's a copay. That's what we call it. It's a $10 copay, and we sterilize your cat and give it 2 vaccines.
Okay.
So if
I didn't know that.
If you're not a member and you only have 1 cat and you can't afford to go to your vet, because we don't want to take anything away from the vets. They need you. And you need them. You need to have a relationship with a vet in case something goes wrong and they get sick, because we don't see sick animals. We don't diagnose anything. We don't have an X-ray. We'd love one, but we don't have an X-ray. We don't have laboratory equipment.
So how much is an X-ray machine?
Oh, it's costly.
It is?
Yeah, it's costly.
Like 5,000, 10,000?
I think it's about 10.
10,000. If you're out there and you want to donate an X-ray machine to the Cat Network so that when your cat eats all the ribbons under the Christmas tree,
but to provide stuff, provide these services to people who would normally not be able to afford it, it's not that.
People don't realize that having a pet is expensive.
It's expensive.
Every single time that we go to the vet, it's probably $150 to $200. They will come out and say, we can do X, Y, and Z. And I'll be like, okay, I'll just do X.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's very expensive.
Exactly.
So
exactly. and they have to. I mean, that's a whole nother show where I can explain the whole estimate thing and why they do it and what their costs are, because they're basically covering their costs too. The veterinarians might as well be nonprofit as well, because really when you think about it, and like I said, that's another show, but I could go through the estimate and tell you how much it costs for that one injection, and the people that it takes to get it, and the people that it took the time it takes to order it and give it, and the products that you use to give it, and then the
facilities and the insurance and everything else embedded into having a medical facility. No, I know that it's expensive.
So we can offer it less because we don't have this elaborate facility. We have this mobile unit that was donated to us by a wonderful family, and we've been able to equip it with. It's beautiful. You have to come see it.
I'm definitely going to go and see the Meowmobile. I was actually going to go out and do a video because I wanted to promote you guys, because I feel like sometimes people are hesitant about even having an animal because of the cost, involved. And I know that you mentioned to me that Mayor Daniela Levine Cava is going to do a grant now, and that grant is going to be to Animal Services or the Meowmobile.
What I just got that information now, so let me tell you what it was. Exactly, so I don't get the words wrong.
Thank you, Mayor Levine Cava, because we love the cats. Meow. It's going to be free. It will be free neutering.
It's providing a grant for free community cat surgeries, as well as Miami-Dade Animal Services, starting in January.
So starting in January, you will be able to get your cat spayed and neutered for free in Miami-Dade County. That is a really wonderful thing. So, and you can become a member of the Cat Network and support the Meowmobile. You have to, let me see, the email address. Tom, we should have had the email. I should have put the email address. The website is communitycatnetwork.org.
No, it's the Cat Network.
The Cat Network.
Thecatnetwork.org.
And when will the Meowmobile be out and moving around again?
So right now we're doing the whole COVID safe thing. So in order to be able to go out, this whole thing has to be over, because it's a very small unit and we're all together really tight, and so we're not 6 feet apart. So right now what we're doing is we do it in the big warehouse where the mobile unit is stored, and we pull it in and park it, and then our anesthesia station is on one side, and we're about 20 feet apart from the prep station. And then the mobile unit has one technician in there, sometimes two, one doing prep and the other doing recovery. And the surgeon is in the back of it doing the surgeries on a separate table. So,
and are things tight financially, or has it been okay? Were you able to get even PPP as a 501c3? Were you guys able to apply for any grant monies?
No, we didn't.
During the pandemic?
We got the grant money that we got was from there's a huge list we have a Little Havana grant. So if you're in these certain zip codes in Little Havana, it's free, and it includes the rabies vaccine. There's the Alexandra Foundation, the family foundation gave us money. Bissell and the Humane Society of the United States gave a grant out, and we have Charlene who writes all the grants and applies for all the grants, as well as the other board members.
Thank you, Charlene, for writing these grants. Is there anything else that we need to let people know about the Cat Network or the Meowmobile, and anything?
I think the biggest question that we get is, I see some replies online, or they'll leave a review and they'll say, I called the Cat Network and they never called me back. I have this cat, I need it taken out of my yard. But that's not what the Cat Network does, because the Cat Network is a network of people that we can tell someone in your neighborhood, hey, there's cats there that this lady needs help, or this man needs help, or someone moved out and there's this colony of cats there that needs attention. And they put it out to the community, and we have the resources to find them help. But we don't have a shelter. We don't have
that would be Animal Services.
We're not a rescue. Yeah.
Okay.
If it's abandoned house, Animal Services will actually come out if you report it and there's a colony of cats and they just keep proliferating. Animal Services will come out. I'm told, I this is my understanding, and someone confirmed it the other day, that they'll come out if you call them, and they'll trap the cats, they'll sterilize them, and I don't know what vaccines they give, but I definitely am sure that they give rabies vaccines, and then they bring them back to where they are. So if you're feeding a colony of cats and you need help trapping them and getting them sterilized, you can call the animal services, and then they put out the word also, but they also, if there's a big problem, they'll send a group out and they'll trap them, but they have to bring them back. They have to be able to bring them back.
So those are really the two games in town: Animal Services, who has their clinic down in Cutler Bay, and then the Cat Network, which is a network of volunteers, mostly women. Are there any guys in the network?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
There's great people.
Because it's like the whole myth about the cat lady.
Charles, I just want to mention Charles because he's amazing. And Davica and her husband I can't even, that's a
Charles and Davica, thank you for loving the cats like we do.
Yeah.
So do not call the Cat Network if you want your cats picked up, but do call them. Actually, no, call the Cat Network. You just have to be patient.
Yeah, you have to be patient.
You have to be patient.
I wouldn't even call. It's probably
just
more
email
to email info@thecatnetwork.org, or and if you need an appointment, the Meowmobile at thecatnetwork.org, those things. There's actually 3 different entities. So there's Animal Services, there's the Humane Society, and there's the Cat Network, the Meowmobile. Those 3 entities are doing the surgeries. There's also the Miami Veterinary Foundation, who provides some, they'll refund veterinarians for doing spay neuters, but it's also low cost. And so
I feel like every municipality should be donating some money to the Cat Network.
It would be great.
It would be great.
Yeah.
Even if you if you are involved in your local government, you should contact your elected officials and ask them to form a relationship with the Cat Network. Hopefully, they can provide any amount of money would be welcome. And once the Meowmobile is up and about again, you can pass through a certain municipality on a certain day. Correct?
Right.
Because you're mobile. I mean, that's the whole idea of it.
That would be where, like Mary and Sue Ellie had the recovery station. So we'd put 20 cats in the unit, sterilize them, but they had to recover somewhere, and they would have to recover overnight. Someone has to watch them overnight. So that part has to be done by some
group.
Have to. Okay. Like they would have to watch them, because you can't release a female as soon as she's spayed back out into the community without something possibly happening.
So I think that the women who are already working in this need to go to their various municipalities and solicit funds from their elected officials, and that would be great.
Miami Beach was,
if they want to do a workshop to find out how to lobby this to get money for the Cat Network, I will volunteer to do that. And Lori, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really wanted to create some awareness.
This is for your little Teddy too.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. I did not get my cat anything for Christmas. No, and I was going to get him this little water fountain, and now, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, he's going to love this.
We work very closely with Petco and PetSmart also, so they donate all kinds of stuff to us, and we actually go to Petco South Miami. That's right here.
Really?
So
you
when
work
we
with
were
Petco.
allowed to go, we would park there. They would let us. They would let us use their parking lot. And
helping you help homeless cats. thecatnetwork.org. Please reach out to the Cat Network, because we want to help these community cats, and we want the cat colony populations to stay in control. So thank you so much, Lori, and God bless. Happy holidays to everybody, even if you don't have a cat. We still love you.
Wait, if you don't have a cat, consider adopting one.
It will change your life. All the perceptions that you have about cats are probably wrong, and these little beings, they actually make you healthier, and you'll be less sick. It lowers your blood pressure and your cholesterol, stress levels.
Yeah.
So get a cat
or foster one, and then when it's old enough,
or at least foster. Meow meow meow. It's really more like that. Bye. Happy holidays.